Hey everyone, it's Joy here with another lawn fawn video, and today I'm going to create this fun little tropical island using the platform pop-up and hammock and trees dies. Now this is the platform pop-up. I have die cut 2 of those larger pieces and 3 of those T pieces, and we are going to start by folding away from ourselves on all the score lines on both of our platform pop-up pieces. I have die cut these from Mermaid cardstock. This is going to be our ocean for our little tropical island. I just thought it would be really fun to have all of these palm trees and hammocks just popped up out of this platform pop-up. This is my favorite interactive die, so I love using it. Once I get this folded, then I can fold 2 of my T pieces. There's a little score line there at the bottom. I'm going to fold that. And the third one, we are just going to trim at the score line. Then I'm going to take double-sided adhesive and place it on this little tab here at the bottom on both of our platform pop-up pieces. And then on the 2 T pieces that still have the tab, I'm going to place a piece of this double-sided adhesive on the bottom of those. Once we get that done, then I can flip this over, the T piece and that. I'm going to slide it through the hole. I'm going to remove the release paper from the T piece and I'm going to pull that up tightly and press it down. Press it down there. And then I can fold up, I'm going to remove that adhesive piece and fold that up at the next score line and press that down. Let's do that one more time. We're going to flip both of these pieces over, slide that T piece through the hole, remove the release paper, pull it up tight, make sure it's nice and straight, press that down. Then I'm going to remove that release paper. I'm going to fold up at the next line, tuck that down, press it down, and now we have our 2 halves to our platform pop-up. Now let's add some more of this double-sided adhesive to this one tab on each of the platform pieces. I'm going to flip those over, remove the adhesive, or the release paper, line those 2 up and press that down. Now we need to add this third T piece that we had trimmed the bottom off of. I'm going to add a couple pieces of this adhesive. I'm going to remove the release paper and I'm going to line it up, the bottom of the T. I'm going to line up with right above the score line. Then on the other piece, we need to add some adhesive at the bottom because we need these 2 pieces to be adhered together to create our 3D pop-up platform. So I'm going to remove the release paper from here, and then when I fold it in half, I just like to make sure that all of my corners are lined up nice and even, that way we don't have a wonky platform pop-up. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to make sure all my corners line up. And once they do, then I can press this down and get a nice, good adhesion. Then we have our last little tab here that we're going to remove the release paper. And we're going to tuck that in and line up our end piece. And now we have our platform pop-up. This is the base, and now we get to add all of our fun goodies. So in the platform pop-up, you have these little hills. I have die cut 2 from a brown cardstock and another one from the mermaid cardstock. The brown is paper bag cardstock. That's going to be our 2 little island pieces. Then I am using the Stitched Waves border die right here. And I'm going to line up that little hill piece that is from the platform pop-up behind my wave piece. I want to make sure it's the same length, so I'm just going to trim that out because I want the front piece to have some little ocean waves. So let's add some double-sided adhesive behind our little hill pieces here. That's what I'm going to call them. This is what gets hooked to those T pieces. Then also to my little ocean piece here. And then we can put these in place. I do trim down the ocean piece shorter. So I don't show it on camera, but later I do take it off. I trim it down. I don't mind that I can see this little hill behind it because it just looks like rolling waves, but it was a little bit too tall when I placed it here. So when I did lower it, you'll notice that in the photos that you'll be able to see the background island a little bit more and the hammock. So I'm going to put those in place. Now let's adhere our wave. And again, this is what I trimmed down shorter, so it's not so tall. Then we have our hammock and trees die that I have die cut the trunks to the palm trees from light brown woodgrain cardstock, and I'm ink blending that with a little bit of gathered twigs. And then for the leaves of the palm tree, that is die cut from noble fir, and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending with rustic wilderness. There's two designs for the palm trees, and the trunks lean in a little bit differently, so that makes it really nice when you have this fun card design. So I'm going to ink blend just in the center, add a little bit of something extra to the palm tree leaves themselves. And it's super quick just to add a little bit of color in the center, and the tips of the leaves are lighter. Then we have our coconuts that I'm going to do the same little bit of ink blending with the gathered twigs. I have also die cut two of those little hill pieces from the platform pop-up. I'm going to ink blend to the bottom of those a little bit. We're going to use those on the outside of our platform here. And then Kohl's ABC's die, I have die cut the word relax, and that is from the paper bag cardstock as well. I'm adding a little bit of liquid glue and then putting our palm trees together. They're so cute. There's 8 of them. Like I said, I think I only used 7. Then we have our hammock here that is die cut from guava and apricot cardstock. I'm going to adhere those together. And I just think it's fun. It's a fun pop of color against all of the blue and greens that we're going to be using, and browns. Then I'm going to start ink blending. So I folded my platform pop-up flat, and I'm going to ink blend with peacock feathers, and I'm using the waves stencil. I'm going to add the waves around the whole background. So I'm going to bring one of those in and then just add a little bit of a darker wave. So it just adds a little something extra to your outside. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the back. I'm not that worried about lining up the waves. I don't think it actually matters, but if you needed to, you could make sure the stencil works that way. I'm sure you could figure out how to line that up, but I was not worried about it. But look at that fun little wave. I'm going to add some of that double-sided adhesive to the bottom of 2 of our palm trees. These are the palm trees that are going to be holding the hammock. And I actually switched sides because remember I said that the trunks lean differently. There's 2 kinds. So I want them to lean out. And I'm also making sure when it leans out that when I fold my platform pop-up closed, that it still can do that the palm trees don't get in the way. Then I can add a little bit of liquid glue to my hammock here and adhere that in the back between these 2 palm trees. And then I can start filling in my design with the rest of the elements that we have already created. But look at how cute that is. And remember, when I trim that wave down, you're able to see that little island better. So it does work out good. Let's add the rest of our palm trees. I'm going to start in the back there. I'm going to add 3 more in the back. I didn't want it to be too cluttered. Some of them I did trim down the trunk that it was just a little bit shorter than the one next to it. So you kind of have this different height and it just adds a tad bit more interest. And I'm looking for the ones that are leaning in different ways. And so there's trimming that down, and I'm going to place that right in the back. And then we have this little cute, starting to get this little cute oasis. I really did make this for myself so I could have it in my craft room and I could just feel like I have my own little private island. On the front in that center piece, we are going to adhere the sentiment relax. And I'm starting with the 2 end pieces, and then I can just kind of space out the center ones easier that way. And I think it's really cute to me. I wanted it to mimic the sand, and so that's why I went with the brown color. So let's add our last letter here. This is just to remind me just to relax. Then on the 2 side pieces that when you fold it flat, you see from the front, I'm going to add these little pieces of island here. I'm going to adhere that down and then just trim the excess off, and then I can add a palm tree to each one of those. And so they'll be lower, but they kind of bring in a little something extra. And I'm going to adhere them closer to the front rather than the back. That way, again, when I fold this down closed, those palm trees will not get in the way of each other. Then let's adhere our coconuts. I'm going to adhere 1 on each side of our little islands out front here. And then I have 3 more. I die cut 5, and then I'm going to adhere 1 to each one of the palm trees that's holding the hammock, and then 1 of the palm trees in the back. And I just think it's so fun. Such a cute, fun little card. This is just a complete die cut card. There's no stamping or anything on here. Okay, I'm just going to take a Copic marker, a brown one, a darker brown one, and just add some dots to the sand on my little land pieces there, on my sentiment. I will also do it on the inside pieces, which I probably should have done before I had glued everything together, but sometimes I don't think ahead that way. And then I'm going to use a white gel pen. I'm going to add some highlights to the coconuts, to my sentiment, to the palm fronds. And that just adds a little something extra. So laying it flat definitely helps. But if you have to open it up and add some detail, just stick your hand behind the piece of cardstock and just do what you got to do, and it works out just fine. So here is this platform pop-up finished, our cute little tropical island with our hammock reminding us to just relax. And there it is popped up, and you can see that that wave is much shorter. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you feel inspired, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.